Gather the Spirit, harvest the power. Our separate fires will kindle one flame. Witness the mystery of this hour. Our trials in this light appear all the same. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion and strength. Gather to celebrate once again. Gather the spirit of heart and mind. Seeds for the sowing are laid in store. Nurtured in love and conscience refined, with body and spirit united once more. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion and strength. Gather to celebrate once again. Gather the Spirit growing in all, drawn by the moon and fed by the sun. Winter to spring and summer to fall, the chorus of life resounding as one. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion and strength. Gather to celebrate once again.
Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Hillsborough online service. My name is Allison Mahaley, and I will be your worship associate today. I would like to thank our speaker, Susanna Tuttle, Wendy Calvin, our videographer, Aviva Enoch, our music coordinator, and the many wonderful singers and speakers who will be featured throughout this service today. Most of all, I would like to thank you all for joining us. Before we get started, I would like to make a few announcements. UUCH is a nonprofit organization supported solely by the donations of people like you. Please take time to make a donation either on our website or on our Facebook page. Your contributions make a world of difference for us. Now let's ready ourselves for worship together by reminding ourselves of who we are and why we gather. We are a community of liberal, open-minded people who strive to connect with one another in love. Our spiritual home is located at 1710 Old NC 10 in Hillsborough, but our community stretches far and wide as we gather online in Sunday worship. We are a people defined by covenant, not by creed. That means that we are committed to a way of being with one another rather than a statement of belief. To that end, we support each other in spiritual growth and deepening of faith. We challenge one another to find more love, both inside ourselves and in the world. Today, we welcome you with open arms to our virtual house of worship.
We gather in this time of uncertainty, full of unknowns as angst closes in upon us. We light this chalice with a flame that draws us together. With this flame, we cut through the dankness of isolation and are warmed by the fires of our interconnection. For this moment, this radical moment, we find a certainty within the noble bonds of love and community.
There is a Time to Let Go by the Reverend Gretchen Haley. There is a time to let go of the resistance, the steadfast march to complete the to-do list, for parents and activists, and for all who love this life, these people, these mountains, this sky. There's a time to rest and to trust the world will go on filled with partners at the ready. All of us splitting shifts on this project of building and healing, tending and turning. Breath and being require their own practice, their own attention, and the heart needs time for becoming stronger after the shattering, the opening wider, the learning to love more and again. Come into this place. Steady stillness and joy. Know your belovedness, like a memory calling out from the center of your being, connecting every little piece of everything to everyone and all of us. Feel here gratitude rising and praise for this chance to begin again this day with hope. Come, let us worship together. Bless us with grace. May we stop for just one sacred moment and celebrate.
Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love.
Ours is a welcoming community where we find connection, a sharing community where our joys are celebrated, and a caring community where our sorrows are lessened. Each Sunday, we take a moment to share and reflect on the special happenings that have occurred this week in our lives. For those of you who would like to share in the comments or chat, please do, and know that everything shared aloud and held in silence is kept dearly in the heart of this community.
Beneath the Hustle and Bustle by Reverend Angela Herrera. Beneath the hustle and bustle, beneath the stream of thoughts that clambers and chatters over the landscape of our interior world, beneath our habits of momentum and stirring, there is a stillness, deep and peaceful, the place where creation begins. Who lives there? We know her by many names: truth, love, God, wisdom, we turn our hearts toward her face, toward the mystery, and bring our prayers of awe, of longing, of hope, of exhaustion. She holds us in our grief and our anger, in our disappointments, our loneliness, and our rebirth. From her viewpoint, she sees us children of the stillness, children of love. She sees our place in the order of things, joined together in the larger story, and she invites us again and again into living, invites us into loving, invites us into being loved. May we be restored to wholeness and blessed with peace. May all those whom we encounter receive this blessing through our being in the world. Amen. Namaste. Shalom. May it be so.
Why still and small, deep inside all, I hear you call, singing. In storm and rain, sorrow and pain, still will remain, singing. Calming my fears, quenching my tears, through all the years, singing.
Good morning. I have the pleasure this morning of introducing our speaker. Reverend Susanna Tuttle joined the staff of NCIPL in August 2011. She received a Master's of Divinity degree from Starr King School for the Ministry at the Graduate Theological Union in Berkeley, California. In 2004, Susanna was hired as UNC Chapel Hill's first Sustainability Research Associate and went on to co-initiate Trace Collaborative, LLC, a consulting firm specializing in the implementation of sustainability within the design and construction industry. Susanna is a founding member of the Southeast Faith Leaders Network and is an active member of the U.S. Climate Action Network. She currently serves on the executive board of the Southeast Climate and Energy Network and the advisory board at UNC Law School's Center for Climate, Energy, Environment, and Economics. Susanna lives on a gravel road in Orange County, North Carolina, with her husband, who is a builder, gardener, and musician, and their two beloved dogs.
Good morning, and greetings from my home to yours. I treasure this opportunity to be with you, albeit virtually, and it has been a blessing to have my colleagues at the North Carolina Council of Churches, Michelle Peden and Sarah Ogletree, record our opening and closing words for this service. Together, we all appreciated the opportunity to read through the UU Soul Matters Sharing Circle resources, and we each deeply resonated with this month's December theme of stillness. The poems and meditations offered so much grace and quietude, and every word offered a sense of peace and an invitation for relaxation. And then, one of the readings stood out to me. It sang a kind of truth that 2020 has been screaming all year. Reverend Angela Herrera's passage, found in Reaching for the Sun, a UUA meditation manual and Soul Matters Common Shelf book, titled, Sometimes it takes a little craziness. When you arrive at the store and can't remember why, and you forget the vet appointment and almost miss the dentist, even though they called you yesterday, and the bills are late and your kids need homework help and you're behind at work and haven't exercised in weeks, and you've been eating fast food while vegetables wilt in your fridge and your garden is turning into compost, and the one time you try to cook, you leave the granola in the toaster oven, setting the damn thing on fire. And you double book yourself again, and laundry forms mountains around your home, and you began to look askance at your beloved because you haven't had fun together since you can't remember when. And then, just as you are starting to wonder about signs of dementia, you find yourself placing a metal spoon in the microwave and turning it on. Just breathe. Sometimes it takes a little craziness to get your attention. This is how I decided to give name to what I am feeling about life right about now, and why I've titled my thoughts on what I'd like to share with you this morning, The Coexistence of Stillness and Motion. You see, I am an activist, which means I am all about action, movement, mobilization, implementation. When someone tells me to slow down, my first reaction is, what? We're not moving fast enough. As someone who works on the issues and impacts of climate change as a moral imperative, day in and day out for the past 2 decades, the fierce sense of urgency is burned into my heart and soul. As fast as it seems like we are running out of time, I wake up with the readiness of a marathon runner at the start gate, full of fresh energies, knowing that every step is on the journey towards our destination, year after year after year. And then 2020 happened. It arrived like any other year, even more special perhaps because we came into it with this perception of having 2020 vision. The idea that we could see clearly now, knowing what had happened in the past and understanding what we needed to do in the future. Many of us who knew that we'd be working on the Get Out the Vote campaigns in this most important election year of our life, well, I can say there was a kind of sensibility and hopefulness that we had 2020 in the bag. Which brings me back to Reverend Angela Herrera's passage of how, quote, sometimes it takes a little craziness to get your attention. Who of us can honestly say that at any moment in our entire lives we ever, for 1 second, thought we'd actually live during the time of a global pandemic? I mean, sure, the science was there that it could happen, really at any moment, but our collective inability to entertain even the notion that it actually would happen was next to nil. As Unitarian Universalists, of which I have been my entire life, thanks Mom and Dad, are a special kind of people. We tend to be more attuned, more engaged, perhaps more accustomed to believing that we have our fingers on the pulse. I mean, we are small in numbers, but mighty in representation of what it means to be seekers of justice, open and affirming, theoretical by nature, and pragmatic with purpose. And still, we were not ready for the physical, emotional, and spiritual circumstances that 2020 would bring. Didn't have a clue on January 1st that we would be here together, online, on December 6th. Our notions of constant motion came to a standstill. It all came down to our ability to breathe. The pure essence of life, the breath. It's been with us from day one, and it will be one of the final ways we communicate our goodbye when it's gone. I share all this with my own reflections of this year on how to ground myself within the coexistence of stillness and motion. Stillness. Stillness. As a person who loves the meaning of meanings inside words, that word eludes. Stillness. It beckons, suggests, calls attention, hints at. Stillness. The words quiet, silent, calm. These do not need to be practices of inaction. To be still, one can be in motion. Inner stillness is a place that our heart can speak without our mind running it off the road. It's a forward-moving choice to allow our heart, mind, and emotions to experience a time out from competing with each other and enjoy some casual peace together within. So that's a bit of what this year has taught us. The world doesn't stop so that we can be still. We have no idea what is going to happen next, and we have to simultaneously coexist with all the uncertainties of constant motion while finding peace in every breath by allowing the craziness to capture our intention. Stillness.
Somebody's calling my name. Hush, hush. Somebody's calling my name. Hush, hush. Somebody's calling my name. Oh my Lord, oh my Lord, what shall I do? Sounds like freedom. Somebody's calling my name. Sounds like freedom. Somebody's calling my name. Sounds like freedom. Somebody's calling my name. Oh my Lord, what shall I do? Sounds like justice. Somebody's calling my name. Sounds like justice. Somebody's calling my name. Sounds like justice. Somebody's calling my name. Oh my Lord, what shall I do? Hush, hush. Somebody's calling my name. Hush, hush. Somebody's calling my name. Hush, hush.
winds of your daring days begin to swirl, may you find your breath. May you remember that still point inside that is always waiting to welcome you back home. And that place of sacred peace. May you be an anchor of calm for those who need it as much as you. Go in peace, go in love. Amen.
To my loved ones and relations, with me in spirit every day, to neighbors I have not yet met, close to home and far away. Be safe, be well, you mean the world to me. Be safe, be well, you mean the world to me. To my friends who make good music, sharing joy both far and wide, and to those who we depend on to teach, to heal and guide. Be safe, be well, you mean the world to me. Be safe, be well, you mean the world to me. And to all who hear this message, to strangers and to friends, here's an embrace of music until we meet again. Be safe, be well, you mean the world to me. Be safe, be well, you mean the world to me. Come on now, be safe, wash your hands, you mean the world to me. Be safe, wear your mask, you mean the